Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. You know, I don't want to create a lot of controversy here, and I know it might not be a popular opinion, but I really do think that Revengeance is perhaps the pinnacle of the Metal Gear Rising series. Anyway, last time we did a lot of codec talk, and then I showed you how the game is meant to be played when you're fighting a small group of weak enemies. They'll be much tougher enemies than these regular cyborgs we've been fighting. As a matter of fact, they're going to be regular enemies who are maybe don't take as many hits to defeat, but are more challenging to defeat than the boss we defeated in the preliminary chapter. We also found out that our legendary Cobra unit slash Beauty and the Beast unit slash Dead Cell. I don't know why I'm building up to the first of these groups last, but the Foxhound unit of this game are three different soldiers who are all named after wind, and the leader here is called Mistral. I remember Mistral. I don't remember his name, but I do remember one of the other wind theme people. I guess Jetstream Sam is the third because, well, we know there's a character called Sam. I guess you don't know he's called Jetstream Sam unless you've been paying attention to the fact that we've got two DLCs and one of them is called Jetstream Sam. I don't really think this is a spoiler, but the bald guy who was, mean about liking war, Sam was, grinning a lot, and, but the guy who was just, laughing evilly and killed President whatever, he's named Sundowner. I don't think that's a reference to wind, and there's only supposed to be three wind guys. But, yes, as you probably gathered by the fact that he clearly has, sword-swinging, cyborgy power, we will be fighting that guy eventually as well. Let's see if there's any new codex stuff, and assuming there isn't, we're just going to move forward.
About the Soliton radar.
I guess there is.
That it doesn't get jammed anymore, even if I get spotted by the enemy.
Oh, you're paying more attention than I am, Raiden.
It'd be useless the second an alarm was triggered.
Well, once the Patriots fell, classified technology spread all over the world. This new Soliton radar is one example. By applying a non-linear Schrödinger equation to the Soliton solution, they were able to prevent the jamming that plagued the original models based off the KDV equation.
I'm impressed. You know your stuff, Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Of course. I'm a businessman. You think I could run a profitable PMSC without being up to date on the latest tech?
But I wonder.
Well, you could always be the son of a billionaire.
Is the equation different? I mean, I'm no expert
Schrödinger
on how the
stuff. I
KDV
told you,
equation
Schrödinger
was implemented in the first place. But I'd love to know how the Schrödinger equation fits into all
Well, you
this.
copy-paste it in there.
Raiden, on battlefield, most important thing is how to use equipment.
Right.
The theory behind it.
You should
The
really
mission
just
is
relax.
number
If you're
one priority.
wondering
Do
how
not
he eats
worry
and
your
breathes
head
and
about
other science
equations and
facts,
such things. Just concentrate on
you don't know
using the
either.
equipment
That's
to
the
your
joke they're building
advantage,
to, I believe.
In other words, you have absolutely no idea, do you?
The mission, Raiden. Focus on the mission.
So if I could geek out for just a second, in the original Metal Gear Solid, Soliton Radar these were projections that Mei Ling was broadcasting to you based on stuff like, intel on troop positions and patrol routes. I think if you go back and actually follow through, none of this Soliton Radar stuff makes any sense. But the idea that it would get jammed if you were spotted was because enemies were no longer on their standard patrol routes, and these were projections. But it obviously works like magic with super accuracy. So.
Raiden, you'll need to head inland.
Oh, is that what I have
first,
to do?
Make your way through this building.
Okay, I'm going to assume we're done with him then.
Sorry, man, but I have to ask. Where did Mr.
Well, my name is
Lightning
Raiden.
Bolt come
That
from
turns
anyway?
out it's a reference to a Zero
Seriously?
fighter, but that's also codenamed Jack,
All right.
and I'm a weapon
Well, I
of the
told you where I
Patriots.
got Raiden from, right?
Yeah.
World War II, the Japanese had a plane called Raiden. The Allies named it Jack.
It was the subject
I
of an
remember.
8-hour-long
And my real
codec
name's
conversation
Jack.
at the end
So,
of
yeah, they
Sons of
codenamed
Liberty.
me Raiden.
They being the Patriots.
Mm-hmm. Never really suited me, but it's better than...
Your real name.
Jack just reminds me too much of the past.
And jacking
I hear
off.
Someone once told me, you can find your own name and your own future.
But I'm not allowed to refer to that
After
person by
that,
name because
I
Kojima will
dropped
get
Jack
mad.
for good.
Right. And this lightning bolt business?
But
Well,
Rose still calls you
The
Jack.
Rai part of Raiden means thunder, and Den is electric. So Raiden is basically lightning bolt. Anyway,
no, it would be
I was explaining
Electric
that
God,
to
right?
Ronnie, and he just busted out laughing.
So he called you that as a joke? He was basically just giving you shit.
Watch your language. This
Yeah.
game about
He
slicing
actually had
people
a
into a
pretty good
million
sense of
pieces and
humor.
drinking their blood
He was one of
doesn't
the
have
most
room for your potty
charismatic
mouth.
men I'd ever met. I don't know much about politics, but being around him, you could just tell he was a natural leader.
He was going to make whatever this country
goddamn
is great
shame.
again.
I won't let it happen again. Desperado ends here. Comic book villains and all.
Hey, you don't get to
Yeah.
be snarky about
We're
comic
counting
book
on you,
villains. You
Mr.
are a part
Lightning
of the...
Bolt.
The writers don't get to be snarky about having comic book villains. I mean, you're making your character, who is a comic book hero, snark about the comic book quality of the villains, and you're writing them both.
So Ryden, who was this that told you to find your own name before you stopped?
I told you
going
I'm
by
not allowed
Jack?
to talk about
The
him.
one and only Solid Snake.
Apparently I am. Never
Hero of
mind.
Outer Heaven. Zanzibar Land. Shadow Moses. The list
Also,
goes
he
on.
once wore orange and
Right,
fought Cyborg
right.
Big Boss,
Right,
but that
okay.
game doesn't count anymore.
I forgot you knew him so well.
Yeah. He saved my ass at Big Shadow.
And then he saved my
Not
shell
to
at
mention
Big
a few
Ass.
times after that. I've lost count. In terms of
He even
pure
helped me get my
combat
own blood
ability,
back.
he's one of the greatest soldiers I've ever seen. But it's not only that. He knows what's right, and he just gets it done. Period. No one can stop
He
him.
has my approval
I've
no matter
learned a
what he
lot from
does.
him. He'd kill me if he heard me talking about him like this.
And I would forgive him for it.
I didn't know you were such a fanboy.
It's kind of sickening.
I thought you were gonna start crying there for a sec.
Very funny, Kev.
Huh.
Seriously,
Emotion
though,
is something to be mocked
Did
in
Snake
men.
know he had a stalker?
Mr. Lightning Bolt?
Hey, relax. I'm only ribbing you. I just wish I got to meet the guy, you know?
Yeah, well, that's never happening, Kevin.
You're no fun.
Looks like a war zone out here.
The palace cleared out quick when Dolzayev's men showed.
Okay,
Luckily,
we've
they've...
heard
And
this
that's
one.
why
Keep in mind, in theory, once you eliminate...
Their commanding officer, Mistral.
What's up?
Gangsta? We better save that S ranking we got killing those 3
Okay,
guys.
save complete. Don't let your guard down, okay? What's up? No? Did you need anything else?
No, guess not. Just wanted
Okay, I guess she doesn't get a bunch of new crap to say. What about Doctor?
continue along, Raiden.
Do you really think I give a shit that you absorbed a bunch of electrolytes? Move! Move! Alright, I better get in here before Boris flips his wig.
Raiden, this is Boris. Give me your
Are
status.
you in the building yet? I told you to go into the building. Are you passing through the
Going
building? You
inside.
must pass through the building right now.
Good. Let's recap the route you will take.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
As I said, the enemy's HQ is in the refinery along the coastline.
Oh, you can move around while you're on the coda.
Dolzaev has been spotted there using satellite photography. Also on
Can't, like,
site,
ninja run.
Mistral, a desperado captain.
She's kind of my favorite.
So I
You'll
go
see
through the
why.
city, cross the bridge into the old town, then head down to the rear of the refinery.
Rear.
Still, I think they anticipate us. They will probably have a grand reception awaiting you at the old city. Do not let your guard down.
So there are definitely some secrets to be found here. Oh, a treasure chest. Paranano paste. I know there's something, although I don't care about collecting them too much. There's something in the. I know there's a cardboard box soldier in this level, so it'd be fun to find that. The hostages should be fairly apparent when I get to where they are. Those are not cardboard boxes, eh? Data storage 1 of 20. Okay. Doesn't put them in order because apparently I already missed data storage in the tutorial level. I got boop. That door is not what it appears, because it appears to be a door that you can interact with in some way. Cardboard box soldier in there, he's dead meat, bucko.
Hostiles in the lower corridors.
Yeah, okay, I think I'm gonna get
Try to
tutorial
flank them,
here.
or approach from behind.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There's a thing where you can kill them from above, but I don't know what the exact. I don't know when they tell you how to do that.
Excellent, Raiden.
But I didn't absorb any hollow paste from him, despite how fun that was. Ghetto. It sounds to me like he says ghetto when he grabs nano paste. That's. I don't know if we can get back up there. I don't know if there was a reason to have done so. Oh, there might be. We might be able to get back up there. Or we might not. Or maybe if I hadn't destroyed those things, I could have used them to get back up. Oh well. May have missed collectibles up there on the far end of the room, but I believe this is the first area, if I recognize this place from previous playthrough, this is probably the first area where we have hostages. Yeah, you can see them down there. So I kind of want to...
Raiden, take that main thoroughfare. You can use augment mode to see where the enemy is located.
Okay.
Your body analyzes radar and IR data to construct your AR display. Huh. Some civilians are still in the city.
Well,
That
a
is not
civilian. Toggle AR display with...
What are you doing here? This area is off limits. What? No, I'm not doing anything. Can we just kill him? It'll be easier. Supposed to have driven them all away already. So that's right. Easy. No, please, I have family.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I had something I haven't had in a little while now, which was a PC crash during recording, but looks like I'll have to cobble this together from two pieces, but it's okay. In case there was any kind of loss of footage just a little bit right at the end, I saw a hostage on the ground below and just kind of took my time and listened to the dialogue, and the cyborgs went ahead and murdered him. So I need to not waste time to get down there and get behind them.
You are headed out of the operation zone. Head to the
What are you doing here? This area is off limits. What? No.
Oh. Okay, well that got him killed anyway. Let me see who shot at me. Okay. I believe what I have to do is kill the guy with the gun and then kill the two cyborgs who are standing close to him. I think as long as I do that. I don't think they kill the hostage until I get close enough for them to start talking.
What are you doing here? This area is off limits. What? No, I'm not doing anything. Can we just kill him? It'll be easier. Enemy sighted!
So I'm not doing this as smoothly as possible, but I completely missed.
He is scared to death, Raiden. Let him know he is safe.
Yeah, I'm doing it. Hey, you're safe, buddy. Even though I got a terrible score as a result of this.
Thank you. I will not forget this.
Here it's a, super weapon you can't acquire any other way. But, not quite. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. I'm, like, completely wasting, FC. That may not have been wise. Anyway, having rescued that guy, I would like to finish the level now without dying. Is that a... Could be a cardboard box soldier over there. I have to be careful. I've decided it would be fun to get those. It seemed isolated enough that there might have been something here, but I guess this is just a way to get to an elevated position if you weren't already at one. Well, I got grenades, although I forget how to use them, and it doesn't seem like the game is going to tell me. I wonder if they're going to praise me for having rescued the hostage.
I see you found a grenade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a new type. Intended for use against vehicles, UGs, and cyborgs.
Useless against people.
Shell design is first class. The charge, even carbon
It's
nanotube
carbon
compound
neutral.
armor cannot fully block.
Sounds like we should keep a few on hand.
Yes, well,
What? They don't work as promised?
no, the specs are just fine. It is only,
This is very specky.
well, if you want quality, you have to pay for it.
That much, huh?
Triple the cost of standard grenade.
Ooh.
And Desperado's got a bunch of them. I'd love to look at their annual budgets.
Most likely they have good relationship with manufacturer. I think they got insider price.
This'd
Delaware
be
corpse.
easier if we had a few more friends like that. The stealth craft made it back to Sochi all right?
Oh, apparently
No.
there's unrelated
Safe
stuff to
and
talk
sound.
about here.
No repairs necessary. Some routine maintenance. And
All we got to
should be
do
as
is
good as new.
melt down some
Good to
super
hear.
grenades and use it
I'm
to
guessing
make
that
a new
thing doesn't
hull.
come cheap.
Well, an old Soviet army friend gave me discount. He runs a PMC specializing in airborne warfare.
An Air Force
Well,
for
so this is
hire?
an Aleutian
That's a new
super
one.
plane.
Ever since SOP, Merc started to fill more and more regular combat duties. SOP ended, but the trend did
No,
not.
we'll never have a
Most
Coast
every
Guard for
modern
hire. That would
military
be silly.
relies on
Or
PMC
Space
support
Force.
in one way or another.
Good news for Maverick, I suppose. Anyway, that's quite the little jet your friend has. I was expecting
hello
a
to
lot
my
of
little jet
turbulence
friend.
coming in that low, but she was smooth as silk. Didn't feel like I was a bird exactly, but probably.
Then again,
the
I
next
have a
best
weird
thing.
robot body, so I
The
can't feel anything.
SU-133C uses a brand new type of active adjustment control system. Sensors on the plane take
So
readings
boring that we
120
can't like
times a
zoom
second.
in and out on this
And,
guy. And
to be honest,
your inner
I
thoughts.
don't know how it works. But the crew chief tells me this is what keeps her flying so steady. It is all state-of-the-art technology. There are only 3 of them in the entire world.
And we
Even the
own 4.
RQ-133 spy plane she is based on is only 2 years old. It is fitted specially for cyborg, so maybe demand is a bit low now, but I think that will change.
What will
soon,
my
huh?
cyborg sweetie say?
It's funny. Its guts are all bleeding edge, but from the outside, it looks almost retro.
It looks like
Until
this like
recently,
pedal-operated
stealth aircraft design was focused on radar-absorbing
thing with like a
materials
weird,
and
never
improving
mind.
aerodynamics.
Wacky
But
flying
lately,
machine
engineers are trying to use the shape
that you
of
would
the
fly
craft
off,
to do
you know,
more
drive
than
off of a
improve
cliff
gas
and
mileage. Maneuverability
manually
is a
pump
low
wings and-
priority. This kind of plane is not meant for dogfighting, after all.
It is meant for
We can
murdering
afford
other
all this?
animals.
I hate to ask, but will we clear a profit on this op?
You need not worry about such things. But yes, we
Don't
should
worry
be
your
fine.
pretty little head
Where the
about
proper
that, Raiden.
equipment can make or break a mission, we should have the best.
But not
That case with
grenades.
The anti-air missile last month was a painful reminder of this lesson.
Ah, yeah. I see what you mean. Huh. I didn't think flares could still fool anti-air
Look,
missiles
let
like
it go,
that.
Raiden. I'm already
They,
hurting over this.
Can't. At least not with any modern missile. Recent missiles rely on a dual wavelength, or IIR system, for guidance.
Arrrr.
Flares wouldn't fool either of them. But that was no recent missile I had. That Gusak Derma couldn't even take down a fat tilt-rotor target. At a close range.
I think it's a scruffy-looking nerf herder.
Come on, Boris. We had no intel. No reason to think that we'd be
And I had
facing
no
anything
training
like
on
that.
Russian
You
phraseology.
budgeted for the tools appropriate to the job. No one blames you.
Well, everyone else does, but that's okay.
In any case, now we know what we are dealing with.
Super
This
flares.
is still a business, but this time I am stretching the budget as much as
super
possible. Expenses like that aircraft and your new body are all part of this.
Both
Your new
worth
mind
the
is
money.
super cheap.
This body's more capable than I could have imagined.
Rose is gonna
I'm glad
freak.
you feel this way, since it is still company property.
Wah, wah, wah.
Remember, if you quit on us, you either return it or you
You
buy it.
break it, you buy it.
Yeah, Boris. I remember the first 5 times you told me.
As part of Metal Gear Rising pre-vengeance.
Right, what I said about staying focused on the mission.
Forget it. Do whatever you want.
No need to explain.
I say this because I have been there. I have let my emotions take over on the battle.
I started making
Some
stupid
of the
jokes and got
PMC work
killed.
I did after my discharge was... They were gray area jobs.
Collecting grey water.
But that's all in the past. When I took on those former PLA soldiers to form Maverick, I
Plow.
laid out my conditions.
Palestine
We would
Liberation Army,
only
I would
take
imagine.
operations we believed in. And we would run them clean. No exceptions.
I got that really expensive
them
soap
agreed.
that they sell on those
They had
YouTube
their own
ads.
bad memories from their time in Paradise Lost.
Oh, Paradise
can
Lost.
certainly
I was thinking
attest to
PLA
that.
was Palestine Liberation
Yes, of
Army. I was
course. I forget
surprised
who
to
I'm
hear
talking
that.
with. Most of the ex-PLA have moved on now in any case. But the point remains the same. Everyone at Maverick is accountable for their actions.
Everyone must
We're
take
clear to
annual
this
ethics
job
training.
under international law, and we can use force against any cyborg hostiles under the basic rules of engagement.
Should be fun.
But remember, if we harm any civilians, on purpose or no, it will mean trouble.
But Desperado apparently
All
not
kinds
operating
of
by
trouble.
those rules.
So, stay in control and stay on mission.
Stay on target.
Got it.
I see you found a grenade.
Yeah, I knew...
Grenades
Sounds
are
like-
fun.
What?
No, well,
That...
triple.
And
Most.
this would be...
I see you.
Yeah.
Da.
Sounds...
The
No,
grenades.
well,
Yeah.
triple-
Yeah.
most-
This is-
Rumandrang, yeah. Alright, see what Kevin's got to say about grenades.
Sounds like Inmani was a pretty great leader. Such a
He
goddamn...
provided me with hope, and
I've
then he
run
looks
cover
off in
for
the
a lot of
distance.
VIPs. But men like him are a rare breed.
He's one of the new
He had
breed.
all these conflicting factors to deal with. Old tribal tensions, business interests, the
Yeah,
military.
not a lot of
But
leaders deal
Inmani
with
got 'em all
conflicting
working together in a
things.
stable government, and all without firing a shot.
The savior of a nation. No wonder they called him that.
So
He
we're
had
supposed to
gift
like
for
this
sure.
guy.
But he also put in the hard work. He was big on equality and justice in every aspect of government. He fought for it day in, day out.
He deserved better
Inmani
than to be
single-handedly
sliced through the
energized his
heart and
people.
tossed off a train, huh?
He's a big part of why the country recovered so quickly.
True. It was more than new buildings and jobs. The people had hope again.
If only we had someone like him back in Liberia. Things would have been different, that's for sure. And it was
We
my
would have
job
been
to
taken
protect
out by
him.
even more cyborgs.
Come on.
And Monty wouldn't want me to go after Desperado. Not out of revenge, anyway.
The ghost of Namadi
He wouldn't
appears
want
and
them
says, "Oh
stopped.
yeah, I do want
And
you
that's
to go after
exactly
them."
what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Right. That saying you like about your sword being a tool of justice.
It's really dumb, and I want you to stop
It's
saying
why I
it.
fight. Sometimes taking a life saves others.
A life, or 2, or 3, or 40 in your case, but
Hey,
I know what you mean.
stop talking like that,
Besides,
or I'll take your
it's
life
not
and
like those
absorb your
cyborgs you're
electrolytes.
fighting have been brain-jacked.
Wouldn't be much point in sending jacked cyborgs.
True. Having someone pilot a body remotely only really makes financial sense for espionage missions. You might as well use UGs if you're going to let an AI control your soldiers.
I mean, what the hell,
So
man?
yeah, they're probably using emotional restraints, but those cyborgs are fighting of their own free will.
Kill them. Kill
Starting
them
to
all.
see where I'm coming from?
I get it. It's just you didn't used to seem so comfortable with the
I
idea.
love killing now. I've moved on.
What about what Sam said? About your ideals holding you back?
Ah, bullshit. He's good, but now I know how he moves, how he thinks, and I've got my new body. My philosophy says when and why to fight, not how. It won't keep me from beating Sam.
Yeah.
And next time we meet, I will beat him. I'll kill
And his
him,
own DLC.
and I'll do it to save others from suffering, with my ideals intact.
He just beat you in a fight. Sam wasn't the one killing lots and lots of dudes. Oh, I guess he did kind of kill a driver of a missile truck, but
One thing I can't stop wondering about, Kev.
why did they call them
What's that?
cornrows?
Sam. If he wanted to kill me back on the train, he could have, easily. So, why didn't he?
Well, it wouldn't have been much of a
Good
game,
question.
Raiden.
But I should be asking you. Your left eye was our only video feed. After he stabbed it, I got nothing. I mean, I got the details from your report after the fact, but that's it. He was probably just too distracted. Boris's attacks, escaping. There was a lot going on.
No, that's not it.
He could easily
Well,
have paused Boris's
why else?
attacks.
What does he have to gain from letting you live?
I don't know.
Cool boss fight later.
Ride it. Head for the oil refinery.
And stop talking.
Ride it.
So I don't know if this will actually count to where
After
I
that, save complete.
don't have to.
You saved me again, Courtney.
Right. Anything else? Otherwise, I should get
I'd
back.
like to talk about grenades.
Actually, yeah. You mentioned SOP earlier. How much do you know?
Yes, I don't know if saving here
The
will
sense
mean
of
I
the
don't have
Patriot
to
system?
rescue that hostage
Same stuff
again,
as
but I
anyone
probably
else
have to
in the
rescue that
industry,
hostage again.
probably. Basically, a nanomachine software combo for controlling contractors. Used to be required for all PMCs. Soldiers
Yeah, I've seen
couldn't
in Metal
fire
Gear Solid
unless their
4.
ID matched their weapon and they had clearance. From their commanding officers. And the rules of engagement, I mean. It had some mental effects as well. Moderating pain, enhancing concentration, that sort of thing.
Speaking of
The
enhancements,
idea
do you
was
have any?
SOP would minimize arms smuggling and civilian casualties.
A kinder, gentler war. An oxymoron, any way you look at it. Civilian deaths did drop though.
But it was also
Because
responsible for
soldiers in the
Drebin,
system
so I
could
hate
coordinate
it.
in real time, share info. Between that and the ID weapon locks, a lot of people felt better about employing privatized military. The irony is, the system was developed based on criticisms of PMC ops, mostly American interventions. SOP propaganda said it would put limits on the war market.
What? Propaganda lied to
What
us?
it really did was shift market share over to the PMCs. Civilian deaths went down, but total casualties just kept on climbing.
It's kind of fun,
More
actually.
than ever, war was big business.
And business was booming. Until SOP got hacked.
See Metal Gear Solid 4
Suddenly,
for
everyone
details.
realized how dangerous it was to have a single system.
Yeah, you know,
controlling
that probably should have
entire
occurred to them
PMCs.
first.
That was the beginning
earlier.
of the end for SOP. Public opinion on privatizing war did a 180. After that, a lot of local conflicts and civil wars died down. The PMC conglomerates had to split up and downsize just to stay in business.
They formed the Baby Bells.
And that about does it for SOP 101. Class dismissed.
Not bad, Professor. But it's not the whole story.
Shut up, you're just an adjunct.
I know.
Let's finish this later. I better keep moving.
We need other things for you to be able to talk about for future dialogue.
Need something else?
I thought we'd get back to our little history lesson.
No, next
What do you know
video.
about the Patriots?
I know that they were behind everything we talked about before with the SOP system. People thought these 12 guys controlled world politics and the
These
global economy from the
guys were
shadows.
And
weird.
they were right. Except there weren't 12. And they weren't guys. Or even humans.
And they were in the shadows,
They
and
were
they didn't
massive
control
AI
anything.
networks.
Actually, really none of
All
that
the
was
better to
right.
gather information on a global scale, or censor it if they wanted.
We
They'd
call them the
manipulate
Dirty Desert.
factions to keep wars raging, all while selling arms to both sides.
Those evil
The
AIs
PMCs
were
made
jerks.
billions too, of course. SOP was the Patriots' masterstroke. They could control battles directly, down to each individual soldier. The system might even still be around if the AIs hadn't all been destroyed.
I'm impressed. You know your stuff.
You've truly played all these games.
People
Can you
have even
explain
heard
why
of the
Vamp kept
Patriots.
coming back to life? I think
wonder
it was
when they were
nanomachines,
active, but still, not many. Almost no one knows they were AIs, or that they're the real reason SOP went away.
just you, me, and all the other characters in
The
this
few that
game.
do know aren't going to talk about it publicly. Even the world leaders.
That whole weird lolly
Especially
lule low
the
thing
world
still kicks
leaders.
in when people try to
The people
mention
would
their name.
panic, assuming anyone believed them, which they wouldn't. You can find speculation on the net if you look hard enough. Some of them get pretty close to the truth.
Bernie
but the
Sanders
stories
knows.
never made it into the mainstream. Just another conspiracy.
Oh, I wouldn't worry.
I'm not surprised.
This game is trying to
It's
be
a little hard to
prescient,
believe,
but I
you
wouldn't
know?
worry about conspiracy
Sounds
theories
crazy.
not being widely
When
accepted
Kevin
in the
briefed me
future.
about all this in orientation, I thought it was some kind of BS detecting test.
Well, you failed, because it was.
All right then. Hey, Raiden, let me ask you something.
When are you going to stop talking to me
Patriots.
and do your mission?
Why would AIs do all of that?
I don't know, ask
I can see
Kojima.
why people would want all the money, but AIs? What did they stand to gain from it
Oh,
all?
they were in it for the
Who
pussy.
knows? Maybe
Sorry.
they didn't
Sorry.
even know. Optical neuro AIs aren't your typical PCs. They learn over time, change in unpredictable ways. The core AI, JD, was bent on expanding the war economy. Maybe to fund the Patriots' other activities.
Yeah, well, I don't know
Or
what's going
maybe
on.
that's just the way it evolved. Like a secondary objective that took over.
I really
One
don't
of
know
the
what's
other
going on.
AIs said it was created to filter out unnecessary information, gossip, trivia.
Then it made fun
All
of me
for
a
the
lot.
sake of future generations, to drive the evolution of the human race. Or so it said. Was that the truth? Or a lie? To manipulate
And there's
me,
3 other
you
AIs
can
that we
say.
could make up bullshit purposes for at any time.
Something like that. Running a nation. And America, no less.
Now, sure, if it had been running Canada, we wouldn't care, but
Thank God they were all destroyed.
But
there
did
is
it
no
really
God but the
change that
Patriots.
much?
Maybe not. Contractors still gotta eat after all. Soldiering for
Eat what?
hire's always been a risky business. But at least before it was good money. There was a decent chance you could get rich and retire early. All that disappeared during the SOP years.
The
Demand was
SOP
high, but
years
the
coming
workforce
this
was
summer.
flooded. More and more soldiers were willing to work for cheap. It got so you'd have to work years before you could even pay back your initial training and insurance
Sounds
fees.
like
Yeah,
kind of what
I can
everyone
see
is dealing
Sandar's
with in the
point.
modern world.
The global recession certainly didn't help.
Not necessarily in,
Unemployment shot up across the U.S. and the EU.
Yeah,
Even
cool.
if contractors gave up and packed it in, there
I was about
weren't
to
any
go on
jobs
to a
waiting
tangent
for them
about
back home.
globalism, but
The irony is the recovery was all war-driven. It wasn't a general recovery at all.
General Recovery
Not
is a
only did
3-star.
globalization exploit the poor countries, but it crippled first world employment.
Oh yeah,
too.
so that is where they're going.
And SOP's gone. But now we've got these PMCs that are basically mobsters. Just thugs in uniform.
Make America
Yeah.
great again. Oh,
Not a
sorry.
pretty picture.
Yeah, and I really got to call it a video. I hate to do right in the middle of a bunch of codec stuff, but there you go. When we come back next time, we will finish the codec stuff, and I'm going to try to get to a logical stopping point. See you next time.